let's break down the price action for Bitcoin and what exactly is happening right now, because despite the fear, despite the bearish takes, the high time frame structure has not changed. And I want to convince you that if you missed analyzing the previous price action and the 85k level, there is another opportunity for those who are trading to enter exactly around this point at 92.2k, and I want to explain why exactly. It's very important you understand this. The US markets are closed today, but the Bitcoin's price action that we are seeing, this move, it didn't start today. It kicked off when Trump floated tariff threats tied to Greenland. Markets initially brushed it off as negotiation pressure, not policy. And this tone changed once the European Union floated $100 billion in potential retaliatory tariffs on US companies. That's when risk actually repriced. And before I go into the analysis, the old sequence is threats, headlines, risk of volatility, negotiations, and price pumping. This is what we saw when Trump started announcing the tariffs back in April. In March last year, we saw higher prices, Bitcoin reaching all-time high in the months afterwards, crashing back in October. I'm telling you all of this because it's linked to what I'm going to explain next on the chart. The US markets shut today, liquidity is so thin, so any move can look bigger than they really are, which started over the weekend. No rush, the real reaction likely will show up tomorrow when the US opens. So first of all, we did some longs. If you're on Discord, you would have seen that on high time frame a couple of weeks ago, around the 85k level up to the 97k level, right at the start of this bullish sequence. Since then, we've seen higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. That structure is still intact. Since then, we pushed above the 97k level and the weekly closed just under 95k level last week. And we have now opened a 9th weekly candle without making a new low or going lower to break the structure. This already tells you something very important. And that's the critical part that most people are missing. Last week, Bitcoin closed above the 14% range since the beginning of the month. We are already 2 weeks in. This is not random, this is confirmation. Historically, when price spends weeks compressing, as it has been right now inside a tight range, then closes above it on a weekly, that range often becomes the bottom range before continuation higher. And this is how you actually spot breakouts before the majority even realizes that they happen, looking at the weekly candles and closing above the range. So we might see some days of consolidation at that level, but then we're going to move to the upside. And this breakout that we are seeing closing above this tight range is telling us that we see another low forming right now. And that higher low fits perfectly in our ongoing bullish structure. We would trail stop losses to the 89k level, and that's our new invalidation. Why the 89k? Because that's the mid-range of the 14% range we broke out of just before the weekend. If price were to lose that level decisively, then yes, that scenario could be wrong, but as long as now the 89k level holds, then this trend remains bullish, and probably over this week that move is going to be clear, but I think it's a good time to open long positions. And exactly at the 92k level, in my opinion, that's a valid entry. Yes, it's a little bit later compared to the 85k level, but it is still bullish on the higher time frame, and the structure, in my opinion, will still support higher prices from here. Right now, I see a lot of people, influencers and on X, people calling this a bearish retest and the start of a move to the 70k level, the distribution phase. I personally don't see this happening. The 70k is not coming from here. This small drop that we see right now is not the start of a major breakdown. It is once again, as we can see, another higher low forming, exactly like we've seen multiple times over the past 9 weeks. If you count these candles, we'll see that this has happened 9 weeks already. Same story, same structure, same outcome so far. And for those that are willing to trade, what I would do right now, I would enter long at around this level. Of course, maybe a little bit lower. We're gonna wait for it to see if there would be invalidation tomorrow when the US market opens, but I would be in a position to open a long trade around the 92k level. I would put my stop loss just below the 89k level. just trading it logically, not emotionally. We have a clear structure so far that is not broken, and this gives me confidence. It's not prediction, it's not fantasies, it's just structure, range, and confirmation. As simple as it sounds. And in my view, this trend will continue. Stay disciplined, stay objective, and follow the plan calmly and patiently. And if you want to see how I'm positioning myself, how I'm trading, my buy and sell alerts, my trading analysis, feel free to join Discord. It's available there. I'll drop a link to it in the comments and description below. So that's on Bitcoin. The altcoins, however, took a bigger hit. Let's see for quickly the altcoins, what is trending and what are the decreases. If we look at CoinMarketCap, let's have a look at those. And for those who have the opportunity to buy, to accumulate at this dip, you are making great move and you're actually positioning yourself to change your life financially entirely. That's definitely the best opportunity where you can buy. So if we look for the past 24 hours, what is happening? So we see projects like Midnight, Monero, some of the privacy coin pumping, gold as well. Gold and silver today hit new all-time highs. You see Tezos, Bitcoin Cash. Okay, stable coins as well. Well, mostly nothing interesting trending. When it comes to drops for the past 24 hours, one of the biggest drops is in Aster. However, buying Aster at these prices is a gift. I see this project really outperforming the rest of the DeFi and DEXs in the space. A project that is building up a lot of new ways to burn, a lot of new ways to create more revenue. It's triggering strategic buybacks. I can tell you that this is a generational bottom. And recently, on 15th of January, it was listed on both Bitstamp and Robinhood. So this means a lot of fresh US liquidity entering. I know a lot of people are calling it a garbage project, but that's the maximum fear actually talking. I see really good potential for this project when the perpetual DEX narrative hits the market and starts outperforming. Definitely a project that is worth holding if you are not already. Let's see what else is there. We see Celestia, Aptos, SUI. Those are the projects that are moving the fastest. When the market recovers, we see SUI pumping and Aptos the hardest. When the market, I can see Bonk as well here. When the market is correcting, these projects tend to correct pretty hard as well. We can see SUI. Definitely $1.50 is a great opportunity to accumulate SUI at this price. Because as I keep saying, I see this project moving to a 2-digit number very soon. We've seen it sitting at $5 before. I think this target would be hit probably over the next couple of months, and my target for SUI by the end of the year is a 2-digit number. We see Say here, VeChain, it recently got listed on Kraken. All I can say is if you have the opportunity, make sure that you are buying those dips, because we are almost sitting close to the fear. This indicator says neutral, but actually we are still fearful right now in the markets. There is no confidence. You can see that Bitcoin is being shaken, consolidating. And when Bitcoin is consolidating, altcoins get damaged. They take harder hits with every small move that Bitcoin makes. Of course, don't go all in. Make sure that you have some capital on the side. In case we see Bitcoin invalidating the pattern and going below the 90k level, then you must be prepared to accumulate altcoins because their prices will be down by another 10-20%. So that's for me today. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.